moving to oneness. Nourishing curiosity. Embracing differences. Becoming one.
Welcome to the Moving to Oneness podcast. I'm your host, Meilin, sitting in Germany. Afternoon sun is shining on my face and will come around the corner, but in the meantime, it has a beautiful play in the background on my wall, showing us that we are in constant movement, are very flexible beings, and we can form into whatever we desire. And one woman that really knows a lot how to form things is Michelle B. And tell the world where you're sitting. And hello.
Absolutely. Michelle B is sitting in Washington, D.C., and I have some morning sun. It's attempting to make itself present on the wall. I think as we move forward, it will reveal itself as the day unfolds. And thank you for your gracious introduction. I feel as a fellow healer, traveler, explorer, that my work is really integrated pleasure of what I delight in and what I find joyful and healing for my own life these days. And then as a psychotherapist and healer myself, I just bring others along for that journey. So it's just nice to have community in healing.
Yes, that's we have to come together to be here for each other and so to support each other. And we'll speak probably more about your other beautiful facets that are about you. But everyone, today this is gonna be a different show. Michelle is my guest today to be guided. So it's open, almost like an open mic. And if someone knows something about open mics, it is Michelle, because she writes poetry, she speaks poetry, right? She gets it out of people. And Michelle is here. She can ask whatever is in the moment for herself, for the world, for whatever. And I'll hone in to whatever guidance comes for her to facilitate your work, Michelle, that your work is facilitated, that your life becomes more natural, that you're in the more natural state in connection with everything existing. And because you love trees and nature, the picture behind you shows that. It's somewhere in France, I guess. A lot of purple spring flowers in the woods, similar to here in Germany when the beech trees flower or have their early leaves coming out. And then we have those purple carpets around, but we don't have everywhere such light beige earth. So Michelle, open mic for you, whatever arises for you, whatever you wish. It's like almost a lottery, because that's the energy now. We can desire. Yeah, it is the timing. Go and ask for whatever comes to you.
I'm so curious. I feel like the world has opened up to metaphysics and new healing modalities. So I'm wondering what spaces, as people like emerge from the pandemic and vaccines and coming together again, I wonder what healing things can I be preparing to be available for people as they kind of awaken to this new, like we came out of this cocoon, and I feel like there's this new world that if we're intentional, can hold more steps toward healing.
Ooh, this is a really beautiful question. And the world has opened up. You said, yeah, the world is opening up, also unfolding. It not so like it has to go like this, but it in a way like the cervix, even, right? When we give birth, we women, and if we just relax and go with our natural flow, our natural rhythm, yeah, and no pressing and no pushing and trying to speed things up with pressure. Yeah, if we hold back and invite the child to come on its timing, or I would say even that it is a combination, a dance together of my body or the mother's body and the child's body to come into the right moment onto this earth, onto this planet, right? And if as a mother you relax and welcome exactly that interplay, then the cervix opens. It's almost like a breathing, and with each breath it opens up more and more, and it goes round and round and round, and it can, yeah, it is like a, the words are missing, but it opens up in a round thing. It gets wider, and you can see how it okay, everyone who's listening, that's a Meilinish thing. Every one of you knows I use a lot of my hands when I do explaining or healing.
It's very beautiful.
I can't
think
that word, but it is like, and as it comes then out, right? The cervix has gotten large enough, and suddenly then the child knows now it's time to come through. We are in the same moment. So we can say, we can press and push, but it's not the time now to exactly to do that. To settle in, to be more calm, to welcome what is. So when you welcome what is, if I hone and close my eyes and feel my lower body as a woman and a mother who has given birth, then you can sense how you get more in tune with whatever exists within that body, underneath the skin, under the muscles, in the muscles, tendons, bones, hollow spaces. Yeah, Gebärmutter. I can't think about it in English. Yeah, but our female organs and or the male organs, right? Whatever is there. And that everything has its place and it works together, and it is in harmony and balance. And it is for us to sense in and see, oh, is it everything in balance? Yes or no? And you will get an answer. And if it's not, ask why, right? Why is something maybe inflamed? Or you have your digestive system, is that functioning well? Because even in this small place or small area of our body, we have so much going on. So our world is also as complex and diverse. And now it is to find ways to play with diversity, but with an understanding at the same time of what it is, and a curiosity to understand exactly those things as well. And to get a new viewpoint onto things. And also then, if I do have a viewpoint to something I really have seen, we all learned it already in school, yeah, but there's a new sensation to it, because as the world outside, the energies have changed. Most of you see things more brilliant now. The colors are changing outside. When the sun sets and you look over the horizon or a tree line, you'll see that there is energy colors, right? Of even the plants are more intense. So also we as we're part of all are starting to be more sensitive, more intense, more brilliant, more colorful, and we can see each other's more each needle. Like look at trees now.
Mm-hmm.
If you look outside, before maybe you saw a green tree and you saw it's a needle tree, an evergreen tree, or it's a deciduous tree. And maybe you know the shapes of the leaves or the colors. But now, if you look at one and you'll notice, oh, I'm seeing more precisely because your perception is so getting so strong and clear that from far away you see needles. Maybe even if you hone in the singular needle. And as you do that, you also have a sensation of connection to that plant. You can feel the connection like spirit to spirit. So that
Mm-hmm.
goes to space, right? Spaces, distances are changing. We can be in seconds very far away and then again very close. We can expand out with speed now, and we can pull in, and we pull in information. So there will come a more beautiful way, I believe, of exchanging our wisdom, of going into communication. And you play a big role in this, Michelle. Nature anyway, because you just love nature. It's like your love goes everywhere. But you're also going to help people to find a new vocabulary, new ways of expressing what they're now experiencing. Because how can you experience something now that is so different, but use words that are so old? Or maybe words have to be put together in a new way, in a different way, because if the old carries certain connotations, has, right, it has designed certain things, people feel certain pains or joys, a person had different relationships to a word, right? But depending on what kind of experiences
Mm-hmm.
you connect to a word. So you are doing this so beautifully. It doesn't matter how you do it, if it is through your poetry, right? You speak in many ways. You speak telepathically a lot with people, with other beings. So there, this will become more fluid. So also the exchange of wisdom there, and how you put that information that you receive or collaboratively create, yeah, to act on it. Where before maybe you have pushed it away. And there are many healers, and I'm so happy you're asking also for the group of healers that is now in this plane, in this time, that are emerging. There have been many that were very quiet, and it is now their time to come out. Doesn't matter what age. Then all every age group, then every gender, every social setting, any culture. Yeah, they're going to come out more and more, especially this year, as they're honing in on their craft. And for this, they also need new words, new ways of expressing, and also support. Right, Michelle? We have to be
Mm-hmm.
seen. A healer also needs to be seen, nudged forward, feel safe, and embraced. So you provide all these things, and then the coming together is, we don't have to do it alone. Yeah. So you're also creating community. So please keep on doing that and enlarge this, make it more inviting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, again, ask, so, and share that you're doing it, um, to let people know, here, this is happening now. You have been quiet because you had to wait
Mm-hmm.
for the environment to be ready. Otherwise, many of us would have lost energy. The new healers are very fine, very sensitive. We're bringing newness as well as connecting to the ancient. Yeah, so it's a beautiful time to create. And the more you're open, Michelle, and everyone else, the more you're open, the more the unfathomed, beautiful things can come into life, can surprise you, spur your creativity, spur your love, spur whatever you desire to do.
That's such a beautiful reminder that we don't know it all. There's more that we don't know than we do in some areas. So being open is an opportunity for things to rush in and kind of complete the puzzle. You know, sometimes it's easy to, for me as a Capricorn, also the other sign is a dragon, and all these things where I love a plan. Like that's me. Like, okay, what's the plan? And leaving room for magic and leaving openness for what I don't know is ready to come into the space. Um, to be open, to have some ideas, but also some openness for other things to emerge.
Yeah, important, the dragons. So I've spoken with many dragons, and I have a little one always around. So dragons love, I'm using a pen, anything straight. So line up when you use communication, dragon energy, and I know you're that in the Chinese, but you also are connected to the dragons. So they love when crystals get lined up in a line,
Mhm.
aligned. Why? Because they're
Mhm.
also really precise, very in tune, and it is also intention, right? Very, it's direct. I can remember someone channeled what we had I don't know how many huge different kinds of crystals standing around, and some in wheels form, and then the dragons came and said, no, you have to, yes, but then at least all of them need to be lined up so we can do our work. And and I
Yeah.
love that. And everyone, you can't see it again. Do watch the video for a second. And Michelle is sitting in front of her picture, and in the center of her picture, there's always an important why we have certain pictures or images in our rooms, and it always reflects us, and it is also our medicine. And Michelle's picture is her medicine. Anyway, it's for her colors. But down the middle of that picture is the path, and it goes
Mhm.
endless. And it's a
Mhm.
straight path. It's not a winding path. And even in the center of the path, you can see the ridge, the dip, and in a darker brown. Maybe it's more wet there, or it creates this little shadow. Um, but again, it says it is right. Even in an intention line, there is a certain wave, a red line of energy flowing through. Yeah. So really precise. So take your time to set up precision. Use your words with precision. Even when you write copy for what you're going to create now, you do that already in your poetry, right? But there's going to come a little bit more. Before it was more. Everyone, I'm waving, whoever's just listening, I'm doing like a little wave uh, movement, turning around, more round. And so in a way, more people feel comfortable hearing what you have to say, some little bit. But you don't have to worry now to be heard or to be liked, or be afraid not to be liked. I should say that is dissolving. So go more and use this really as your wand, those words, the poetry, the rhythm of the rhymes. I don't know so much about poetry, but yeah, and
Mhm.
the speed of how you speak and how you talk it out, and use your voice. Your voice again is an extension. It can be shot out straight, or your voice can be pulled wide. For you, it's not to pull wide, maybe in an instant to make a certain point. Wow, it's always point, but to think about it like this. Put your hands in front of your mouth straight and create lines. For you is always lines. That will help you take off. That will help you take up high sky. As the Capricorn too, if you think about the animal in the mountains, they are very speedish, they're very precise. Even they have to, even though it does not look like it looks, they jump up somewhere, but they plan very good ahead how they can move up with that speed on these small areas where they can put their feet to get up a wall, to get up a mountain, and it gets them up. So you have really interesting animals, but in a way they both bring you to heights. From both heights, you have a beautiful view over the world. You have a far sight. You have a view. Yeah. So it is to be with precision. And then up there, when you're high, then there is this floating feeling, this width, this relaxed state, this enjoyment. So it's maybe also how you help your clients get them together, bundle their strengths, bring them into composture to do this precision work. So there's a lot of teaching involved to be so precise, a lot of recognition for your clients, even those that you're healing, of who they are, of what they are. Similar also for you, right? Take time to figure out what are all your parts, that they can work harmonious with speed. They can be click, 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 done. It's like when, like tick, tick, a little bit like the sci-fi, tick, 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 and then you can shoot it. And then once you're up, then you can put out your wings. Then you can let your view gaze and be relaxed and fly. And then it will reach many, many, many. And for your clients, which are also healers and creators, will have the same experience. And also they will be seen. The dragon a little bit more than maybe the Capricorn, because the Capricorn does blend in. But if it's on the point, right, you have always these depictions of the really, really steep mountain, and on top is that Capricorn.
Mhm.
And even there, and the horns go up, even the dragon. And they work together, and it's the information of the stones, of the rocks. And what else? The high frequency. So make sure you are a lot in a high frequency, right? The higher you are in a frequency, the more able you are to recognize also where all the dragons are if you go out into nature and into the stony areas, right? You will see them. It's easy then also physically to connect to them. And it does then not become such of an abstract. So this is going to happen for many of you healers as well. Make sure you're more, and it's so funny, we have so much green today. Even have a green shirt on. Green, blue, green. Oh, again, this is not planned, but we all know it's supposed to be. So make sure all of you, right nutrition, right
Mhm.
calmness, right water, right movement for you, that you're fit, because and that's where I get a little strict. You have to move into fitness,
Mhm.
strength of holding this high vibration, not just for 20 minutes in a meditation, not maybe an hour, but really for hours. Best thing would be all day long and all day night and the next again, and that you can do long rituals, uh, long events, longer retreats, longer Zoom calls, whatever is now being created. A quickie here and there is not what at the moment is needed. It is really building up the foundation and constructing on that foundation. Even though you have all the airy and fluid beings, but the foundation and whatever structure it is, even if it's fluid, that it can be used optimally. That was important, optimally.
Mhm.
And we love, as
I
we all
love
do.
it. I love it. That word was perfect, like a exclamation point on the end of a sentence. Um, I feel like my last 7 years has been understanding that optimal health is what gives us the sustainability to see a healing journey through to completion. And otherwise, you have fatigue and physical ailments, and so many things take you off the path. And then you get back on, and then you have to have a seat. And so I loved that you said to sustain the high vibration, the health, not just for moments and quickies, but really, what does it take? What's the commitment? And I like that does require precision and commitment and dedication to your vessel so that it can be used for long periods of time in an optimal way. So that's juicy to to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. See, nothing is wasted. So many people are sometimes afraid that they've wasted things.
Oh.
But this has been a time predicted for thousands of years. This is not just, and it's supposed to, it was mentioned, it's a little turnaround and it brings up whatever, but it brings up also our fine tuning. So you can jump out then. I said, everyone, Michelle and I set an intention for this show before. And it was like spring at the moment for me outside here in Germany. The, the flowers and plants are not really coming out yet. It's still February, end of February. But you can see they're breaking through. They're already getting a start. It's like this last push. And so we had this uh, hermitation, or not hermit. We went to, what does a bear hibernate? I had to think about the bear. Thank you, bear. The hibernation, right, where we had to sink in, and it was not just the winter. It was really from 2012. There has been a period of finding out more, getting to connected with other people in the world, uh, building up a network, a collaboration, building up a web, right? So we can create now these beautiful carpets. And it is now the time for Michelle, for you, for me, Meilin, and for you, the listener, um, to be who we are more intensely. With saying, I am Meilin, and this is what I bring. I'm connected to all, but I have these unique traits and gifts for me now to utilize. This is why I'm here on this planet right now. I'm here because of this now in this cosmos. I have materialized for a reason. I have lived and had those experiences for a reason. I've learned enough about me, so what is now to do? And Michelle, I bet you went through a lot of the same thoughts, and I believe others have as well. And it's
Mhm.
now done thinking, so now it's the time to say, okay, what can I implement? What do I still need?
Mhm.
What has to be done? So now it's still the next year is also collecting, like for me, maybe an instrument here and there, and I don't even a tripod is like little things. But I'm saying, oh, where are musicians? I would like to do more videos that in collaborate music, right? So I know there will begin traveling around the world and all these things. But what can I do now and practice and hone in? Because so I feel uh, easy. It facilitates doing things, the repetition, so I can start repeating, like with a podcast, right? The beginning, I only started this, and you have to get used to editing. You have to, there's so many, and suddenly, oh, that's it easy. Then you can go take on the next step. So this is also still this year. What, Michelle, do you need? What do you need in your business? What do you need for yourself? What vocabulary do you need that you have not written yet for others to understand or hear you, or for you to say to others?
Mhm.
It is now also time to start sharing more of who you are, how you function, how you love to relate to others. Yeah, so they can recognize that you like to have people that are similar like you. So share more of you.
Thank you for that invitation to express myself more. Um, for sure, I loved where you went with the question, is everything in balance? I feel like for me, it's been learning to navigate and create harmony among things that seemingly are opposed. Being of multi ethnic backgrounds, also being into a different eclectic types of music all over the world. I love to, in painting, mix up all the colors, in poetry, different genres, in my work, different modalities. So when you talked about the diversity of healing, right, bringing in some new things, right, getting to learn new uh, things that might be out there, new words to describe what we're experiencing. All of that gets me very excited. I love to do it in play. I
Mhm.
think the arts, like if what would it be like, to dance my experience? And what would it be like to sing it in a song? And what would it be like to express it in a poem? Um, you know, that's I think been my gift, and also my struggle is what is it like to blend my Irish with my African American, with my Choctaw, with my, what does that look like in harmony, so that Michelle walks into a space whole and complete as Michelle, not in this space these are the qualities that are appropriate for this culture. And it's interesting where we are as a people in humanity, that how can we be respectful of our differences but hold ourselves whole in a space, like, and what does that negotiation or that collaboration look like? So that's been like my passion. Like, what does it look like to, if something's considered to be classic but I kind of also want to make it contemporary? And some people are probably going to be offended that I'm mixing two things together, and they think that maybe that doesn't go together. But I'd like to show them absolutely it can go together. It's creativity, it's being in tune with what has been and what is and what's seeking to emerge, and how beautiful it is to blend and bring togetherness to things versus isolation and separate. So I play with those boundaries and those borders creatively, with art, with music, with dance, with poetry, lyrics. and in life, how to break the ice if there's a barrier. Like, we're different, we're from different spaces or parts of the world, but we both know laughter, right?
Yeah.
We both know love. We know in some cultures, like, smiling can be offensive, right? There's certain eye contact can be disrespectful. And so it's, how do we transcend that energetically, where we're not shrinking because for us a smile means joy, or for somebody else, eye contact is, they're withholding eye contact because that doesn't work for them. But how do we in our energy be in a space, like in a collective place, in harmony with the differences, but fully expressing?
Yeah, that's a vast topic, but I have to go backwards as much as so with the eyes came right away. We're natural beings, right? In our natural state, without cultures and borders and separation or judgment, because cosmos, I believe there's no judgment. Um, we would like with each other because we would be happy to have each other. We would gaze. It's this most speediest communication tool. Right into the eyes, goes right into my inner. As anyone who is a healer, you have noticed animals look at you directly, right into your eyes. Maybe as a child you have noticed children look right into your eyes, so they are not um, concerned about stigma and what taught them, which is in a way not real. So where comes it? Does it come from not to look in someone's eyes? It was used to put others on a pedestal. Yeah, we have to go back enough. In the meantime, send love, respect. So if someone is in front of you who is used to that, or is still carries, maybe is ashamed, honor this and give that love, but knowing that it is not her, because I've always believed that we all want to be loved, but what she can do now in this moment. Yeah. So, and to embrace that. That others may judge you that you do things a certain way and mix. And I think times you were speaking about music, even in music, right? Beethoven was ahead of his time. Mozart ahead of his time. The painters, the
Mm-hmm.
impressionists.
Impressionists, yeah.
This is really interesting. This word came up. Yeah, no one wanted their work. The Americans came over to France and bought up all the paintings from the street because the critics didn't like it. Yeah, the critics had to keep up a certain image to
Mm-hmm.
get paid or to be hired again. Yeah, so that's really interesting, and also to always be against others. But it was unstoppable. The Impressionists, they kept on going. It was not something to be stopped. And
Mm.
so it went on and it kept on moving. And we are beings of not that are fixated. Nothing in time is fixated. We are movable. Um, we're in a cosmos, in a galaxies, in a universe that always moves forward as the wind does. The wind does never stand still. And we are allowed to change. And to be controllable, we were taught to be fixed. So this may give you a thought. And the same with cultures. The more I embrace someone else from somewhere else and try to understand her, learn about her or him, the better. Or I try to understand animals, observe them. How do they act? In what relations do they come? Why is my cat now here in this moment? Right? There was a lot of healing happen here. I'll call him my shaman. He wants to be there than here with us, because this is physically imprinted in us, in our body, and we carry that. So in a way, it's also a little shame. You're you know, all these mixes. We're looked upon. I'm also a mix. I'm not American, I'm not German. And if you look at my family's back, Also, in Europe, we're all mixed. And if you look at times, we go back further enough, and I think this is so beautiful now. It is getting dissolved because they can now analyze the movement of the people on this earth by the protein. And then now suddenly they see, oh my God, the Aborigines were up here in Lapland, and the Laplander, they were all the way down there. We were not so separated as we were taught because there was no understanding. We were able also to move 10, 20 times, 30 times faster around the earth than we think nowadays possible. So this really creates a whole new discussion, but it is important to see and to say, oh my God, then we're so much more that we are taught, and we're so much more than I think, because not just I have been taught, but also my parents and my great parents were taught to restrict themselves and to feel less. And this time is dissolving too. And the more you let yourself be and have fun in expressing in whatever way you desire, there will be at least one person who's happy that you're going to do it. And for that one person next to you, it's worth it. And then the rattle effect goes on. So expressed through music, creative, mix it up, dance and sing, dance and paint, dance and write,
Mhm.
dance and I don't know, whatever, whatever you feel like doing, do it. Who says we have to stand still at a microphone and do a poetry slam?
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
I remember I did the same once. I said I walked around healing, dancing, singing all in one. I love to move. My body is a
Mhm.
movable thing. I even have a mic where I can move. I don't have a mic that's like this because I can't. I have to look at the trees. I gave myself permission and find the tools. Like
Mhm.
I tested different ones where I can be the most free, so I can be the most me. And that's what I'm gonna live more and more. Me. All of my parts in connection with all that exists. I hope that helped.
Most definitely did. Yeah. That's in my poetry book. I have a line that said, I write to bring all of my parts together to be whole. Um, and then that became, I dance to do that, I sing to do that. And as we started this lovely connection, my intention was to hear more within me, what's wanting to express, what's wanting to emerge, um, for myself and for my work. And so I feel that it's just honoring all of that at once is me, and that's beautiful.
Our complexity is the beauty.
Yeah.
And sometimes I had to think when I looked at, I lived in Atlanta close to a marine aquarium store. But they had all these different fish, or even when I went diving or snorkeling, whoever thought about putting those colors together? Like there's no color scheme. I mean, design. Yeah, our teacher would have said no.
Yeah.
And they're the most gorgeous, and they support them in blending in their environment, or really be seen to pop out. And so, whatever you feel comfortable, do you want sometimes to pop out? Do you want sometimes to blend in or in the middle? Or you only want to pop? Then pop, pop, pop. And if you want to always blend in and not be seen and do your work from behind, or, not in, then that is it, right? You're more guide or in the background, or instead of let's say the singer on stage, right? There's so many other people that have to set everything up. Whatever is right in each single moment, it's also different. whatever you feel, and feel safe, comfortable, embraced, to emerge, to open up, to bring all your parts and other people, animals, and plant communities together. This creates a beautiful world for you within, to be brought out and to live within.
Thank you
Wow,
so much.
those were beautiful words that came.
They were. They were.
Ah, everyone. This was a beautiful ending. Do join the Facebook group or connect with me, and the Facebook group is called Moving to Oneness. And ask to be invited or bring your questions there. I'm here to support you and everyone you care for. And Michelle, thank you very much for taking the time to bringing your energy, for bringing these questions, for demanding this healing that even took place while we were coming together, not just us two, all the beings around us, all the landscapes from many places could feel this. And thank you very much for honoring me with those questions and letting me unfold myself for you. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. I so appreciate the power and the surrender of the time we spent together and the energy that you invited to be present. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy. Thank you very much. Everyone, thanks for listening. Thank you for watching the Moving to Oneness podcast. And I will see you next time. Goodbye. And goodbye, Michelle.